Hey guys, this is Heretic, and this is the Golem update for Sunday, August 22nd, 2021. I am going to go through the full guide here and see how it goes. It's been a little while. So what I want to do is I want to start off with appearance. I want to look at my accolades. What I'm looking for here, I want to make sure that I have all of the Labyrinth accolades activated, and I do here. Any other frames that actually give you bowman attack or cav attack, you want those activated as well, and I have all of those done. Of course, Labyrinth accolades you get from the labs, and you can buy them daily, and then you can activate them straight from the frame section, the accolade section of your city appearance. Additionally, you'll want to activate your best attack and your best march capacity that you have. Defense and anti-scout, of course, don't matter for Golem. Next, you'll want to go to your hero council, and you'll want to swap out your master strategy to Sir Gawain for march capacity. So you can do that. Next, you'll want to go over to your profile and to the temporary relics, and you'll want to get two different ones. You want to make sure you have the Crown of Command to increase your march capacity, and you'll want to get a battle blade for the attack, the troop attack that you get there. So go ahead and equip the Crown of Command. For right now, I'm not going to use my Colossal March nor the Draconic Skill until I'm absolutely ready to go. Okay, but we can go ahead and set the march. There's still a couple other things to do, but we're going to go ahead and set our march. I usually use March 4 for Golem. For right now, we still have your Brutus and your Dendrain are the best heroes for this. I currently do not have any tier 13 bow or cav, so keep that in mind when I'm setting my march here. My march capacity with the 50% march buff is 632. So let me look through, just make sure with what I've got, this is where I want to be. Since you can only go down so far, because I'm working myself towards a crit defense, so I don't have as many different troop types. I'm going to go ahead and increase the amount of cav that I'm using here to about right there, and then I'm going to top off with tier 12 bow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now I want to go over to my tomes, and I want to make sure that I have those set correctly in the Library of War. I'm going to go ahead, since this is more of a PvP setup, I'm going to go ahead and reset this. So the thing to keep in mind here is you want to get all of your bowman offensive skills for the troop types that you're using, and if you can, do the same thing for cav, but especially for bow, because bow's going to give you for PvE the best output here. So I'm using 12 11s and 10s, so I want to make sure that I have all of those. So at this point, this is a good time to say, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do now, as well as let your friends know, let your alliances know about the channel. Thank you. All right, so now I've got my tomes correct, so now I am ready to go. The last thing that I'm going to do is I am going to activate, the last thing that I'm going to do before I activate my Colossal March is I'm going to make sure that the distance between myself and the Golem is at under 1 minute and over about 20 seconds. Just in case there's any kind of lag or hiccup, doing a swap with less than 20 seconds is kind of pushing it. So it all kind of depends on your your connection and your ability to swiftly move over. So I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to do a fake attack here. All right, so it's 33 seconds. That's about where I want to be. I'm good with that. So as far as heroes, just real quick, people will ask why I'm not using the Mordred or Guinevere or some of the other combinations. The Dindrain and Brutus have an emphasis on bow, which will give you the best output, straight offense for what I'm doing. In PvP, of course, the new setup is with Mordred and Guinevere, as they have the cavalry buff, and that really helps a lot for PvP. But on the PvE side, they're still not as good as your NS2s, which is crazy. All right. So I would expect the next heroes that we do get in Lunar to be something that replaces your Dindrain and Brutus. All right. So now I want to go back in my city. And the reason that I'm waiting to the end is because you only have 30 minutes, and I don't want to push it. So I want to activate my Colossal March, and I want to go ahead and activate my Breath of Fire. I don't have top level Breath of Fire, so I could do more damage if I did. Now I want to go over to the March that I'm going to use, and I just want to top up, another 30,000. So I'm going to put a little bit into Cav and the rest over into Bow. If I had a tier 9 bow, I would put some of that one as well to round out my 6. You want to make sure you don't go over 6 different troop types. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 types. And you know what? That makes me think I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to like 190 here. And I'm going to put the rest in my tier 10 bow just to round up. Because what happens is if you have too many troops of one type, you start getting diminishing returns. So there we go. All right, so I'm happy with that. Everything's started. I'm ready to go. So now I'll go over, if I click the right event, go down to Kingdom Threat, Attack. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shift this around a little bit, and I'm going to go back to my city and just make sure I do this so I don't have to do this over and over. All right, so what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm not using my tier 10 because it's not going to let me use the tier 10 for Golem. I forgot about that, so I apologize. So I want to go ahead and strip this out, and I want to balance things a little bit here. Just go ahead and max that out, and then put the rest here in my tier 12 bow. And everything else looks good. So I want to save that, and I want to do that because it's going to reduce the amount of time between my attacks, and it's just frustrating having to do it each time. All right, so my first attack was for 46 million. Okay, so and I didn't do my swap, so there we go. All right, so now if I can get this right, finally. I'm going to go to Kingdom Threat. I'm going to attack. Okay, I'm going to select my march. I'm going to let my march go. Now I'm going to go over here, switch into my battle blade, close that, go to my heroes and appoint heroes and appoint Matic. And so you see I have plenty of time to do my attack. And I'm going to go ahead and let this run, and then we'll look at the results whenever we're finished.
So now my enemies always tell you what to do. Can't keep up with all the bullshit they're throwing your way. Always looking for the easy way. Now they're walking over you. Yeah. Never felt so damn frustrated. You're just wasting my time. All the feelings that I dread is ringing in my head. Can't believe the words you said. Somebody save me. Now we're hanging by a thread and it's ringing in my head. All the feelings that I dread is ringing in my head. Can't believe the words you said. Somebody save me. Now we're hanging by a thread. It keeps on ringing in my head.
All right, so let's take a look and see how we did. If I go over to war, I can see on my first attack where I actually didn't do the swap. I believe that was the first one. I did 461. And then after the swap, 475, 468, 454, 466, 496, 482, 474, 468, 475. That it's not drastic, the difference between not doing the swap and doing the swap, but I think over time it would have been another 30 or so, 20, 25 million attack. If I look here at the actual event now, at the standings, I took over first place and I'm pretty far ahead. Someone may catch me. Hey, there's T-Punk. Someone may catch me, but this is one of the highest. I have to look back and see at my older videos to see if I've done higher than that, but it's one of the highest that I've done before. All right, so if you do have any questions, please let me know. I like to do these Golem updates about once a month, once every other month, just to see what's changed. As new heroes come out, I will do tests on them. So if you're wondering, you know, if you use Mordred, if you use Cav or something like that, you could look at some of my older Golem videos, my last 2 or 3. And I do those tests just to compare your different heroes to see how they perform against each other. And a lot of times right now, because the PvP marches are using the new heroes, a lot of people are using that for Golem as well, because honestly, this is a kingdom that's well over a year and a half old. No one really needs the rewards that you get from this. But do keep in mind that the strategy I use here is the same strategy that you would use for Alliance Hunt. It would be the same that you would use in your Sentinel for Seasons, or any type of attack where you're attacking a PvE element, or any where there's no defense, where nothing's attacking you back. If anything's attacking you back, obviously you'll have to use infantry in it as well and have more of a balance. And honestly, for PvP, like I said, you would use the new heroes, because they end up being a lot better, and I'll have another video on that soon. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or feedback, leave them in the comment section below the video. Thank you.